And Harley is now saying, if he's a rapist, why isn't the police involved and why isn't he arrested? Well, he has already made multiple videos telling us why.
It was 2015, I think it was end of 2015, he sexually assaulted 2 women that I personally knew. And because his girl's international, not much can really be done.
Why is it so hard for rape victims, sexual assault victims to prosecute their predators, their attackers? Because it's really hard to motherfucking prove it. It's really hard to prove it. Unless it's on camera, unless there's witnesses, but then again, it's their word against mine. It's very, 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 very hard to prosecute assault cases when there's no witnesses. Sexual assault, rape, very, very hard. Thinking that if you go to the police, they're going to solve all your problems for you. It's not going to happen. It's not NYPD. You know, it's not Bad Boys on TV where the cops kick down the door, arrest a criminal, drag them out. It's not that easy. And most of the time, people just give up, especially when you're dealing with girls.
It's interesting when Harley accuses other men. It's so hard for the girls to get justice for it. But when Harley is accused of it, then it's suddenly, oh, why am I not arrested if I'm a rapist? And it doesn't take very much logic thinking if you see this guy constantly talking about rape and sexual assault and how rapists operate, and he's constantly talking about it. This is not normal. And at the same time, he has multiple girls coming forward about him. Is it really so hard to believe that Harley is a rapist? The way he abuses girls publicly, is it so hard to believe he's doing that privately too?
When you report something, you better be prepared for the repercussions.
If a man gets accused of rape, it's a setup. The woman's lying.
That women don't report because of the extreme retaliation.
As bad as it was being raped, what was as bad, if not worse, was to receive professional retaliation.
A lot of times the credibility of the witness was called into account. Had the potential victim, had she made claims like this in the past. There was a lot of witch hunting going on.
I was ordered to advise a victim of her rights for false statement when I knew that she wasn't lying. I was asked to bring her in and advise her of her rights like a criminal and interrogate her for false statement, quote unquote, until I got the truth out of her.
So do you want to file a report?
Even with the rape kit and everything, and my friend catching him raping me, they still don't believe me.
I reported it 2 different times, and he told me that there is nothing he can do about it because I didn't have any proof.
They actually did charge me with adultery. I wasn't married, he was.
But your case is unique in one way. I mean, you were convicted and actually went to jail, which hardly ever happens. So welcome back, Brock. I think you'll find that little has changed, which isn't surprising since after all, you were only in jail for 3 months.
And part of the reason why it is so rampant and why it is happening is because people don't talk about it, because there's too much shame, because there's too much fear, because there's too much shame. So this is why stuff does not get reported. This is why you have to understand this is more rampant than anybody is even aware of. And this is why I am speaking up and out on this topic. It happens. And it is never the fault of the target of abuse, which is why I get so angry when somebody tells their story and they're either not believed or they're poo-pooed or they're told it's their fault. Oh God. So I had someone a few years ago who was molested by their father, and they were like, oh, I shouldn't have worn this. I shouldn't have said this. I shouldn't have gone out looking for his approval. I shouldn't have done this. I shouldn't have done that. And I'm looking at her going, you did nothing wrong. That person chose to abuse. That person chose to molest. That person chose to do harm.